Welcome to the loaded cannon. Arsenal drawing 2-2 away with Sporting Lisbon. If your team is going to make it to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, hit the like button on this video because I've still got the faith. I'm disappointed today. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't the best performance. I thought we were quite sloppy. And at times, honestly, Sporting had us on the ropes. But I think this is something that we've seen a few times this season already, that our strength in depth, when we deviate from that starting 11, often, like, we've obviously improved that a lot with Trossard and Jorginho coming in January, but in certain positions, it just does not work for us. And taking out a defender, Gabriel, in that centre-back pairing of him and Saliba, and replacing him with Kiwior, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about Kiwior after, but I think that really unsettled the team. Also, Matt Turner coming in for Ramsdale. Those two changes in that back five, it just didn't work for me, and I don't think it really suited Arsenal today. But you know what? Arsenal need to fix up. I'm not going to lie. I wanna just watch Arsenal become a bit more boring. In all honesty, in the last 6 games we've played, there've been 24 goals. So that's 4 goals a game. We've conceded 9, scored 15. It's a bit too much going on, to be honest with you. I just want a regulation 2-0. The last game that we won, nice and boring, I can't even remember. It's just like Leicester 1-0 away, wasn't it? I just kind of feel like in that game, actually, to be fair, that's exactly what I'm looking for. We limited Leicester to unbelievable 0.01 or 0.02 XG. We completely controlled it. And today, we lost control of that game. And look, it was always going to be tough because there's, often we talk about European hangovers. So we talk about it only in the league. But it doesn't matter which way around you look at it. Often you travel and that sort of thing. It makes it even worse. But look, we had a really, really tough game against Bournemouth where we gave everything. Absolutely everything. So it's not a surprise to me today that we weren't at our best. That, coupled with the changes that we made to the starting lineup, and I don't blame Mikel Arteta for that. We have to manage a squad. To be honest with you, when I looked at the team and I saw that Saka was starting, I thought to myself, oh, bloody hell. I thought, actually, no, like, what choice do we have? We've got to do it. You saw, obviously we all would have thought that it would be Martinelli going down the middle. In the second half, it was Fabio Vieira. He was sort of our striker or false nine or whatever you want to call it. At times, just back to goal, trying to do what a number 9 does. And when you've got Fabio Vieira doing that, then you've obviously got some key players missing. Jesus, Nketiah, Trossard, they would all be doing that job before Fabio Vieira. And look, he did his best, but clearly that's not his position. He can't be doing that back to goal. So hopefully we get those players back. Like, I cannot wait for Jesus to return. I'm desperate for him to return. And Nketiah, obviously looking forward to him coming back, but Jesus is the key, man. Like, when he comes back, he makes other players around him even better. One of those, Martinelli, is a really, really key one. And Martinelli today, oh my God, an unbelievable run. What a moment that was. And I was watching that thinking, he's going to get tackled now. He's going to get tackled now. The way he burst through and just left everyone for dead. You know what? Once I had the privilege of playing a bit of football with Ian Wright on occasion, and I remember him saying to me, "If you don't have to go around the keeper, don't go around the keeper because it gives defenders that time to get back." So Martinelli there, obviously he's gone round the keeper. He should have backed himself to score. He should have backed himself to slot that past the keeper. And as soon as that last-ditch sliding tackle didn't work and he saw himself through on goal, at that point, pick your spot. I'm just gutted for him because he did such incredible work before that moment. That goal would have been like just one of maybe the best goal of his career. It reminded me of that goal that he scored against Chelsea. But with that, obviously we all remember N'Golo Kante slipped. It would have been reminiscent of that, but even better in my view. Real shame it didn't go in. And obviously the Sporting defender did very, very well to get back. But it was a bit heavy touch. When he took it past the goalkeeper, his touch after that was a bit heavy. But look, hey, we can't dwell on that. There's a lot to talk about in this game. I was very, very disappointed with the way we conceded the goals. And also how we got opened up as well. There were loads of times where I felt like we just weren't solid. But obviously after we made the substitutions, and this is what I mean, like this is what I talk about when we have our first choice 11 then we looked a lot better. That's obviously mainly because of Thomas Partey and Gabriel coming in the team. Will Smith Rowe for Nelson. I don't think that's what shored the game up for us. It was in that more those more defensively minded players that made it a lot better. Talking about Jacob Kivior, obviously, look, it was his debut today, so we can't be too harsh on him. It's always tough making your debut away from home. And a team like Sporting Lisbon, look, I haven't looked into their home record, right? But I'm sure they're not used to just rolling over at home. You go to a lot of European teams, and this is something I've learned over the years of following Arsenal in Europe, that even if you look at a team and think, oh, yeah, we're better than them, they play in this league, whatever. The fact of the matter is they've probably made their home form a habit. The teams that we see in Europe are dominant in their own domestic leagues, and a lot of them have got exceptional home records. So I never expected to just rock up to Sporting today and act like it's a walk in the park, especially after Bournemouth, especially with rotation that was inevitable. So the main thing is if you can't win, don't lose. And that's what we've done. I personally completely back this team at home to get the job done against Sporting. I think that's where we just need to show, look, we're a cut above. And yeah, it can be a bit of a game when we've rotated, etc., away from home. But when you come back to our place and they picked up 2 yellow cards, Coates, their captain especially. So we have to go and do the business at home. And I'm sure we will. Going back to Kivior, look, today, no tackles won, no ground duels won, no aerial duels won. He was very, very poor for the goal. It didn't look like Matt Turner shouted, but he seemed to almost bring his neck in rather than making himself big and making himself a nuisance to try and get something on that ball. I don't think he did very well there. And often I felt like Sporting had joy through the middle, and often it was on Kivior's side. So a tough debut for him, man. And look, what can you do? It's just one of those things, and we can't judge him too soon. He just has to come back and make sure his next game he performs better. I would still be happy to see him in the second leg. Clearly, Fulham away on the weekend, massive game. We need to go back to Gabriel Saliba, which I'm sure we will. Saliba was very, very good today. I was pleased with his performance. And when Tomiyasu came on as well, I thought he was good, which I'm glad, because against Bournemouth, obviously, he got taken off and struggled a little bit. Now, the only other thing I'd say is that end of the game, 2-2, we get a corner. The seconds are ticking into that final moments. We go into 94 seconds, 94 minutes, and it was only 4 minutes of injury time. And I thought to myself, surely not again. We're not going to do it from a corner again, 2-2, and go and win 3-2. Unfortunately, we didn't. But man, for a moment there, I saw history repeating itself. All we can do, back the boys. I'm sure we'll get the job done in the second half. Massive game against Fulham in the league, and it's not going to be easy. They're 7th in the league for a reason. I know Brighton have got games in hand, so Fulham might drop down to 8th. But Fulham have shown themselves to be a very, very good team. They'll be bang up for it. So fingers crossed we do the business. I'll see you tomorrow for our 5 at 5. Up the Arsenal and back the boys till the very, very end.